How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. And in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to torrent safely using ExpressVPN, and then I'll also talk about some of the features that Express has that would make your torrenting experience much easier and more efficient. And of course, if you'd like to check out Express for yourself, I'll be leaving links to pricing and discounts, as well as full reviews in the description down below. Okay, so just a disclaimer before we kick off this tutorial, this video is meant for educational purposes only, and I highly recommend you check out your country's laws and regulations concerning torrenting before you try any of this. Alright, so before we talk about the Express part of this tutorial, it's very important to identify which torrent files are safe and which ones you should steer clear of. Now, there's an inherent risk with every single torrent file you download because most torrenting sites are filled with cyber criminals. That said, there is a way to identify which files are likely safe and which ones aren't, and that's through the seeders and leechers column. Once you go to any torrenting site, make sure to sort the results by the highest number of seeders, which are basically people who already have the file on their computer. The higher the number is, the more people deem this file to be safe. If it has low or zero leechers, just stay away from the file. There's also another indicator that the file is safe to download, and that's the comment section of the torrent file. And that's because most users who encounter a corrupt file or malware report the file on the site and post a comment that this file is dangerous to warn other people about this file. Okay, so you've chosen the file that you want to download. What's next? Well, before you start downloading the file, you want to make sure that your VPN is on, and that's for two main reasons. First of all, whenever you're torrenting a file, your IP address is visible to everyone both seeding and leeching the file from you. Seeding is you being the node others use to download the file, and leeching is you downloading the file from other seeders. And so both seeders and leechers on the same file can see your IP address, and with your IP being public, this introduces a whole new set of cybersecurity issues like getting DDoS, getting targeted ads, and hackers tracking your online activities, as well as introducing malware to your device. That said, all of this can be avoided by turning on ExpressVPN and connecting to one of their servers. And that's because once you're connected to one of their servers, your IP address will change to that of the server, and it's going to be what seeders and leechers see instead of your actual IP address. Aside from that, many ISPs don't really like it when you torrent, as it takes a lot of bandwidth. And in most cases, anytime they see someone torrenting, they would just throttle their connection to the ground. Now, if you're connected to an ExpressVPN server, all of your data would be encrypted and your ISP won't have any idea what you're doing online. In fact, if you're using ExpressVPN specifically, your ISP won't even know that you're even using a VPN because ExpressVPN's obfuscated servers will make sure your internet traffic looks as if you're browsing the internet normally instead of just encrypting your data. Now, one thing to keep in mind when it comes to VPN servers is that the less distance there is between you and the VPN server, the faster your download speed is going to be. So you want to make sure that the server you're connected to is either within your country or as close to you as possible. This shouldn't be an issue with Express because they have over 3,000 servers in 105 countries, so you should be able to find an Express server close to you easily. Besides that, I would also recommend setting your protocol to lightweight UDP, as it's ExpressVPN's fastest performing protocol and should give you better download speeds. But if you happen to come across any server that doesn't work well with lightweight UDP, which is very rare, you can always set it back to auto, and Express would pick the best protocol for that server. Alright, now there are a couple of very important features you should know about when it comes to torrenting, and these are the kill switch and split tunneling. First off, the kill switch is very important when it comes to hiding your torrenting activities from your ISP or government, as it severs your internet connection immediately should you accidentally disconnect from the VPN server for whatever reason. By doing this, none of your internet traffic would leak over to your ISP, and you should be able to close the torrenting software before you go back online. Now, as far as split tunneling goes, it's not as essential as the kill switch, but if you give it a shot, you'll see how efficient and useful it can be. So what split tunneling does is that it allows you to pick which applications use the VPN tunnel and which ones do not. For example, let's say you want to watch something on your Netflix library, but you're connected to the German VPN server to download safely. Well, your library is going to change to that of Germany, and you won't be able to access your local shows until you turn the VPN off. With split tunneling, however, you can either set all of your apps to use the VPN, while Netflix uses your normal connection, so that you can access your regular library. Or instead, you can set everything to use your normal connection while your torrenting software uses the VPN. This way, you won't have to wait until your torrent finishes downloading to access your local shows, banking applications, and whatever else uses your normal internet connection. Alright, so this is basically how to use ExpressVPN to torrent safely. But before I end this video, I have a couple of tips that would make your torrenting experience much better. First of all, whenever you finish downloading a file, you'll notice that it says seeding right beside it. And what this means is that you're now a node for people to download this file. And you guessed it, being a seeder means that you're going to be uploading your files to other users, which slows down your connection by quite a lot. So whenever you finish downloading a file, make sure to right-click on it and press pause. This will basically stop all seeding activities until you decide otherwise. As for the second tip, just make sure to use a safe torrenting software that doesn't pose any threat to your security and will not introduce any malware or adware to your device. Now, I've already done a top 5 torrenting client video, which I'll leave in the description down below. But personally, I like to use qBittorrent as it's very safe. It is open source, so anyone can examine its code and make sure they're not doing anything sketchy. And best of all, they don't display any ads whatsoever. So if you want to save yourself the trouble of looking for a good torrenting software, qBittorrent is a great option. And that'll be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to use the link in the description to grab yourself the best Express discount out there. And check out the in-depth review as well if you want to know more about ExpressVPN. Besides that, like and subscribe to see more of these videos, and let me know in the comments if there's anything cybersecurity you'd like me to cover. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.